Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you my Century Community stock analysis and whether is CCS stock a good buy. Before we dive deep into all of that, let's first take a look at what Century Communities does. As a company, Century Communities is involved in all aspects of home building, from acquisition, entitlement, and development of land, along with construction, marketing, and sale of homes. Century Communities does all of that. This is an outline of what Century Community does. A more in-depth version of what Century Community does is that Century Communities is engaged in the development, design, construction, marketing, and sale of single-family, attached, and detached homes in 17 states. On top of that, the company is also responsible for the entitlement and development of the underlying land. So they build and sell homes under their Century Communities and Century Complete brands. The Century Communities brand targets a wide range of buyer profiles including entry-level, first and second time move up, and lifestyle buyers, and provides home buyers with the ability to personalize their homes through certain options and upgrade opportunities. That is what the Century Communities brands target. For the Century Complete brand, the brand targets entry-level home buyers, primarily sells homes through retail studios and the internet, and provides no option or upgrade opportunities. Century Communities home building operate in these 5 segments: the West, Mountain, Texas, Southeast, and Century Complete. The West is in California and Washington, and for Mountain it is in Arizona, Colorado, Nevada, and Utah, and Texas is just Texas itself. And for the Southeast, it is Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. And for Century Complete, it operates in Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Iowa, Michigan, North Carolina, Ohio, South Carolina, and Texas. On top of the home building aspect, Century Community also does housing loans and housing insurance services. And the company also mentions that while they offer homes that appeal to a broad range of entry-level, move-up, and lifestyle homeowners, the company mentions that their offerings are heavily weighted towards providing affordable housing options in each of our home buyer segments. So as a company, Century Communities are operating more towards the affordable segment rather than the luxury segment. And this is a point which we will be referencing later. That's what Century Community does. The next question is, now that we know what Century Community does, is Century Community stock a good buy? Okay, so as I'm filming this video, it's raining heavily outside. So I apologize in advance if you hear some background noises. When I invest in a stock, I take a look at 3 main things. The first is macro conditions, the second is fundamentals, and the third is technicals. For macro conditions, ideally I like to see macro tailwinds for the company that I'm investing in. The tailwinds could be for the individual company itself or the industry as a whole. If you're enjoying this video so far, smash that like button because it will really help the channel grow and allow me to produce more content such as this. As for Century Community stock, there are 3 main tailwinds for the company and industry. The first is low interest rates, the second is because of the pandemic, and the third is pent-up demand. Right now, as I'm filming this video in late May 2021, interest rates are still at a very low level, and this is a macro tailwind for both Century Communities and the industry as a whole. Because with lower interest rates, the cost of borrowing falls and more people are able to afford housing. The second tailwind for Century Communities and the industry is the trend whereby more and more people are leaving the cities and moving to the suburbs. And because more people are moving to the suburbs, more people are looking to buy houses. And because the trend is people moving from cities to the suburbs and not the other way around, which means there's an increase in demand for new housing. And this is likely to benefit home building companies such as Century Communities. The third tailwind is the pent-up demand. I will link a video below where I thought the person explained this pent-up demand very well. Basically, she is saying, and I'm paraphrasing her over here, factors such as millennials looking for affordable housing right now is contributing to the pent-up demand for housing, especially affordable housing. And this is where Century Communities come in. Earlier we talked about the customer segment that Century Communities are focusing on right now, which is the affordable segment. In fact, this article by the Wall Street Journal is one of the many articles talking about the housing market surge. The headline reads, "Housing market surge is making the cheapest home the hottest." And we see that the red hot US housing market is giving an extra boost to the cheapest houses. So there's strong demand for affordable housing. The pent-up demand for affordable housing created by factors such as millennials looking for affordable housing is the third main tailwind for Century Communities and the industry itself. Now I'll be taking a look at the fundamentals and the technicals. I did my calculation and found that the intrinsic value for the Century Community stock to be $119. And as of the filming of this video, the current price for Century Community stock is around $76, which means that the current price for CCS stock is lower than its intrinsic value, which also means that Century Community stock is on a discount. And at a price of around $76, the discount on the stock is roughly 36.1%. This means that the stock is on sale and at a discount of 36.1%. And I have already bought some positions in this stock. And since I bought Century Community stock, the stock price has risen a bit already, which means that when I first bought Century Community stock, the stock was going on a greater discount than 36.1%. So the first is that I'm paying a price for the stock which is lower than its intrinsic value, which means that I'm getting the stock on a discount. The second is also the fundamentals of the company are strong. And thirdly, the technicals also line up pretty well. And as we have seen earlier on, there are tailwinds for Century Community stock and the industry as a whole. So all this makes Century Community stock a great investment in my opinion. But this is not meant to be financial advice. Make sure you do your own due diligence before investing in any stock. Now some people might be thinking, hey, if we can get the stock at around 36% discount, why not get it at a greater discount? We will never know whether the stock will continue to be on a discount, right? Take a real life example as an example. If your favorite item is on a discount, more than 30% discount in this case, will you continue to wait for further discounts on your item, even though there's no clear sign that there will be further discount on the item? Unlikely, right? Therefore, if the stock is already discounted so much and the stock has great fundamentals, technicals, and even tailwinds behind it, I'll just buy it first. And in the event that there's greater discount, then I'll just buy more. So that's my stock analysis of Century Community stock. If you like these videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you'll be the first one to watch these kind of videos when I release them on my channel. I'll see you in those other videos to your financial success.